Example 3. Monica is running for student council. The election rules say that for the election to be valid, at least 80% of the 900 students must vote. Monica knows that she needs more than 330 votes to win. So we're going to define some variables, write a system of inequalities, and then graph the system itself. So for this problem, let's have our x be about the number of votes altogether. Number of votes required. Now, she needs 80% of the 900 students. That'd be 0.8 times x. So it has to be greater than, no, that's not right. No, hold on. The number of votes required, it has to be greater than 80% of the 900 potential votes out there. So 900 students, 80% of them, x has to be greater. And 80% of 900 is 720, so x has to be greater than or equal to 720. Now it'd be fine if if there were 750 votes, if there was 800 votes, or if there's all the way to 900 votes. Either of those would work just fine. So now we need to think about what our y is. How about y is number of votes Monica needs? Sorry, I should capitalize that. That is her name. All right. So she needs more than 330. So 330 is not going to work, but 331 will. So I'm going to say y has to be greater than 330 votes. Now, an interesting thing here is for both of these things, there is a max for both of them. There's only 900 students. It'd be really weird if all the voting came in and 1,500 votes came back. There's not 1,500 people that can vote. So we're also going to include with all of these, x has to be less than or equal to 900, and y has to be less than or equal to 900. It's impossible to get more than 900 votes. But she could wipe the board, get all 900 students to vote for her. Now that I kind of got an idea here of my numbers, 900, 720, 330, if I take a look at my little axes here, I'm going to make each one of these marks worth 100. So 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1000, or 1000. 500 and 1000. So this is votes required and votes for Monica. All right. Let's graph these two inequalities with red. So there can't be more than 900 votes. So at 900, I'm going to draw a nice vertical line there. There can't be more votes than that, so it has to be to the left. There needs to be more than 720. And that's 600, 700, so 720 is just to the right of that. Of course, I can't draw it because everything's too tight here. So just to the right of that, I'll draw a nice vertical line as well. So, and I know I need to have more than that, but I could have exactly 720 and the vote would still be valid. So you can see these two arrows are pointing towards each other. That means the bar in between is going to be shaded in, and I'll do that in a minute. So here and here. All right. Now for the y, we'll do this in green, just so we kind of match our pattern. Again, she can't have more than 900 votes. So I can draw a nice horizontal line right at 900. That's going to be the top there. And we're going to be talking about everything shaded below that. And for the y is greater than 330, I go ahead and find 330, 100, 200, 300, 330 is just a little bit above. I draw myself a horizontal line there. Now this line is going to be a dashed line. And she needs to have more than 330 votes. So you can see for the green region for Monifa's votes, there's a lot of options there. And for the potential number of votes for it to be valid, there's not as many options. You know what? I don't like the direction I'm doing that. Let's do it this direction. That way you can kind of see the red and the green cross each other. There's this one spot in the middle where the two things overlap. That is where all the solutions are. There we go. Now we're going to look at one viable option. Viable means that it works. So all I need to do is identify a point inside of this region that is a solution. So how about this point? What value is that? So that would be 800 of the required votes and 600 votes for Monifa. That is a possible situation that would allow her to win. So we would say one viable option is 800 votes, 600 for Monifa. Now any sort of point in there works. It could have been 801 and 597. That could have worked just as well. The thing you have to watch out for is things directly on that dashed line. Now I'll draw it in dark blue here. So that point right there, let's take a look at it. That point is 800, 330. This point does not work. It's not viable. The 800 is just fine. That's between the range for the votes required. What makes it not viable is the 330. We established that she has to have more than 330 votes, but with exactly 330, that's not enough, so it's not a viable option. So just be careful not to choose anything that's on a dashed line. Choose it from inside the shaded region.